So these are today's topic. Software testing overview, SDLC, principle of testing, SDLC. We will learn like what is the difference between software development lifecycle and software testing lifecycle. Then it is software testing types. What are the different types of software testing? Methods, levels, what are the documents which we use in our software testing, and defect, what is defect management process, like how we raise a defect, what are the defect life cycle. So all these and few interview questions we will discuss, and all these things we will cover today. Okay, so do you know anything about software testing? Like what is software testing? Do you know anything about software testing? Linu, Hitesh, Neha, anything?
Yeah, solving the defects or bug in the software, so it is completely usable by the client.
Correct. Yes. Anything else, Hitesh and Linu?
It's a verification process where we ensure that the requirement is met and the developed software is performing the required functionality. And it just so we make sure that the expectation is fulfilled by that software.
Correct. So, like as Neha told that we are finding the defects, and as Linu told that we are checking that, validate that whether the expected and actual should match. Correct. So why we do all these things? We do these things to improve our quality of the product, right? We wanted to improve our quality of the product. Why? Because client want a good quality product, and as a software tester, our main aim should be to deliver a good quality product. So if someone asks you what is the use of software testing, for a tester to find the defects and to give a good quality product to the customer. Because what customer wants only a good quality work, good quality product, and that's why testers come into the picture. Okay, so the main aim of a tester is to give, like whatever the customer wants, we should deliver that thing. Okay, why testing is important? I think I've already covered that, why testing is important. Okay, and now who does the test? Anyone can answer, like who does the testing? Who all do the testing? Like apart from tester.
Developer does it, test manager, tester.
Correct. So whoever, like everybody who are part of the project, everybody do their own type of testing. Of course, like developer do their unit testing. Whatever he or she develop, they do their unit testing part, so that whatever they have developed is working correctly or not according to the developer point of view. But of course, why tester come into picture? Because developer may not be able to find out that what all, because it's like he or she has developed it, so it's difficult to find your own mistakes. That's why the tester come into picture, to find their mistakes. Correct. So if testers are able to find others' mistake, then it's like then the purpose is solving. Why? Because that's why tester come into picture, to find the others' mistakes and give the good quality product to the client. Okay, clear everyone? Any doubt in this, or you want any other confirmation or any questions, so you can ask. Devashi, you can also add like, is there anything else you wanted to add, because you have an experienced person here. So yeah, Devashi, you wanted to add something?
No, I'm good. Thanks, Shavi.
Okay. 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 So yeah, any doubt in this, or should we move on? Okay. So coming to the SDLC part, what is SDLC? Anybody can answer, like what do you understand with the name SDLC? It's a Am I audible? Is there any disturbance in my from my side? Is there anything disturbing?
No.
No. Okay. So anybody know about like what is software development life cycle? It's a very important part of when you understand everything, then only like it will be easy for you to understand the next steps. So software development life cycle is a very important and vital role for understanding the whole concept. Okay, so software development life cycle is having different phases. Okay, it has the different phases, like it starts from the requirement analysis. So what we do, we gather the requirement. Okay, then there is defining. We define the requirements, like how to use it. Then we design it. Then we start coding. Okay, coding, then testing, then deployment, and then maintenance. So these are the steps which we involve in software development lifecycle. What we are doing here, we are developing a product here, and this is the life cycle by which we develop a product. These are all like who do the requirement analysis, like our BAs and all those things where they gather the information from the client, okay, and they define it, means they give those information to the developer, to the tester, to the whole team, whatever information they take from the client, right? After that, they start the designing part. What's the designing part? The designing part is like what will be the process, what will be the documents which we will be learning in the later point of time of today's class, like what all design, like test planning, test strategy, they do it in this part. Okay, after that they start the coding part. Who will do the coding part? The developers do their coding part. After coding, there will be testing, which we will do. Quality engineers will do the testing part. After that, there will be deployment. When the testing is done, we deploy the code. And after deployment, after everything is done from the deployment, then there will be maintenance. Like once we deliver the code to the client, after that we maintain those. Maintenance will be always there, and we maintain do the maintenance of the project. Like whatever we give the project, after that we have to maintain it also. Okay. Dear everyone, any doubt in this? Because this is very important point. If you understand this, it will be easy for you to understand the rest of the phases. Okay. So now this is software development lifecycle models. Okay, so this is one model which is a waterfall model. What is waterfall model? Anyone can tell, like how it works? how it works? Any rough idea how it works? Like waterfall model work in the sequential order, like once
linear
yeah,
sequential.
linear. Correct. So yes, Deveshi, you wanted to explain a little bit about the waterfall model. It will be good for others understand that.
I'm not a good explainer. I will try, as you know, Chavi.
Yeah, sure. You can try. Yeah, you can try.
Okay. So basically, the waterfall model is a linear sequential flow. It follows. So first, it's gonna go in the requirement, and we're gonna, like, it's the same thing. It's just gonna gather all the requirements needed for that project, and then it's gonna design. So it's gonna go under the design, and it's gonna design the project, and then it will go to the development status. So it's gonna go and under the development, and then after it's gonna go into the testing, and it's gonna go into deployment, and then it's gonna go into the maintenance.
Yes. So what she said, like she has explained it correctly. Like what she said, the waterfall model is once the requirement is done, then only it will go to the design part. And once the designing part is done, then only it will go to the development part. And once the development part is done, then only like so on and so forth. Like once it is done, then only it can go to the next part. That is the waterfall model. Okay. But is this a good practice? I mean, for the complicated project, it is not a very good practice. Okay. So that's why this model is only used for very easy, easy projects. Like suppose
Like
there
a
is
small
a
project.
calculate, small project like calculator or some attendance, taking attendance of the students, attendance taking software, like some app who is taking the attendance of the student, or like something like very easy, which is where the requirement is predefined. But now like in the new projects, like upcoming project, this waterfall model is not in use. So there are other models which are in use, which is like a spiral model and V&V model. Okay, so we will learn about these two models also. Why I have included this spiral model? Because spiral model is a model which is having a risk analysis. Okay, so risk analysis is what, like if some risk is involved in your project, so that part is also covered in spiral model. So that is why this model is very much in demand when it is a very complicated project. So sometimes, like suppose Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft has a very complicated project, and it is like an iterative project. So spiral model is a combination of iterative development process model and sequential development process model. Okay, so it is a combination of both. Okay, so suppose like in Microsoft, every time, like Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 9, now it is 10, 11. So all those are the different releases of their product, correct? So why they release these products at after every interval of time? Why they do? Any idea that they do that? because they find, yeah, Linu, you want to say something? Why they do that? Like,
Yeah,
why
basically they're upgrading their, and they are fixing their earlier bugs, and they are actually refining, basically improving the quality and functionality, adding more features. So yeah.
Correct. So they are improving their quality, and they find that our previous product was having some limitations in that. So they wanted to overcome that limitation and give the good quality product to the users, right? So we are the users. We tell that this is this is the limitation of your product, and this is the this will be like can be improved. So that's why they give the new product to the client, correct? So that's why that is the risk analysis, and they find that this might be some risky thing, and then that's why they give the new product to the customers. Okay, so in the spiral model, first thing is planning, then the risk analysis. After that, whatever analysis they do from the previous project, they do their development and do testing, and then they evaluate that whatever we have done is correct or not, and then they are giving that product to the client. Correct? So that is the spiral model. And the difference between spiral model and the other models is the only thing is risk analysis. Rest all phases will be similar. Okay, rest all phases will be similar, but the difference is risk analysis. Okay, so if someone asks you that what is the difference between a spiral model and other model, so you can say that risk analysis is included in the spiral model. Okay, clear, everyone? Okay. So this is your assignment for today, that you have to understand about the principles of testing. Okay. In the next class, I will tell you about all the principles of testing, but this is just a overview of testing, like what is detection of bugs, effective testing, early testing, defect in clustering. These are all the important points, and I want you to search in the Google and find out, and we will discuss this in the next class. Okay, what is detection of bugs, effective testing, early testing, why we do early testing, what is defect in clustering. This is very important point. Okay, this is like a very important interview question. Sometimes interview asks you that what are the defect in clustering. Okay, testing is context dependent. What this mean? Okay, early error-free testing is a myth. Like that also you learn it. Then we will discuss about it in the next class. Okay. So those are theoretical points. So you can read it by your own. Okay. Now, now comes to the verification and validation model. Anyone know about the verification and validation model? What is V model? We call it V model. Anyone? You are understanding, no? What all I have told you, Linu, Neha,
Yeah.
and Hitesh. You are understanding, right? Whatever I've explained. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So about the V model. V model is what? It's a verification and validation model. That's why it is called as V model, because it has verification and validation. So as Neelu told before, validation is the key for the testing part, right? So what we do here, we verify and then we validate whatever we have done. Validating is what? When we are doing some work. And what is verification? When we are verifying from the from our testing point of view, I am telling, like when we are verifying and when we are validating. So what is the difference between these two? Anyone can tell that? What is the difference between verify and validate? Anyone?
In one of them, the execution of the code is done, I think, in verification, and in validation, more of the testing is done. No, sorry. I mean, in verification,
Opposite.
the coding is,
Yeah.
yeah, the coding is
Correct.
not done, but in validation it is. So
Correct.
yeah.
Correct. So verification is a, you can say, static, and validation is dynamic. Okay. Verification is what? When we do the static part, when we are doing our walkthrough, when we are doing our, very like when we are creating our documents, when we are writing it, when we are understanding it, when we are like doing the process, like how it should be done. And the validation is like when we are actually performing it. Okay, when we are running our code, when we are running our script and testing it and validating that whether it is the actual and the expected is coming accurate or not. If not, then then it is giving you the error, different types of error. Okay, so verification is like walkthrough, understanding, processing, and all those things. Okay, so here the left side is the verification and the right side is the validation. How? I'll tell you. Okay, so first thing is what in the what we were saying is like development life cycle, software development life cycle. So the first phase was what? Can anyone tell what is the first phase of software development life cycle? Which is, tell me. First phase.
Requirement gathering.
Correct. So what we are doing here, requirement gathering. So what here the first part is what? User requirement. What are the requirement they want in our product? Whatever we are delivering to them, what is the requirement for them? So we are doing the requirement. Now the second step was what? Designing, development, right? And how will be the process? Software specification. So this is called as software specification in this like V model. Then comes the analysis part, correct? What was that? I also forgot. It's very important to remember all those things. Designing, correct? So designing part. So designing part is what? A high level design, correct? So designing is like what all, like high level design, like who will do which part of the development, who will do the testing part, who will do the like all the distributing the works, who will do the environment part, who will take this responsibility. So all these are like high level designing when we are distributing some work to the different people. Okay, now comes the low level design. Low level design is what? Actual before coding, when everything is like, when how what is the base class, what is the what will be your strategy to write the test cases. Okay, so those are all the low level design which is done by the developers, senior developers, the leads. All those things are done by the um, uh, low level design is done. Okay, now comes the coding part. Coding part is what? When actual coding starts, and whatever we have you know decided that who will do which part of that work. So then here it's like start the coding part. Okay, now comes the, after coding there is a unit testing. Okay, unit testing is generally done by the developers. Okay, so unit testing is like they have to write their test cases also. Okay, so unit testing is developed, like test case creation will be developed at the time of low level design. Okay, when they are designing that part, that time the creation of unit test cases should be done. Okay, similarly, when we are going for the requirement, that time acceptance testing creation, like creation of the test cases should be done at the time of your user requirement. Okay, so that's why it is like linked with the acceptance testing. Okay, user requirement is linked with the acceptance testing. Anybody know about what is acceptance testing? What is unit testing? Everybody know, like what is unit testing, which I have explained. What is unit testing?
Unit testing is the very first testing that the developer does after the development.
Correct.
And acceptance means basically done by the user who actually that basically check whether the required requirement is met. So
Correct. So very good. So when the requirement is met or not, that is only done by the users. Okay, sometimes it is done by the tester also, but mainly it is done by the users, the end users. Okay, so acceptance testing is like alpha testing, beta testing, those are acceptance tests. So those test cases are written by even the tester also can be written, even the users can also write. But usually we give the acceptance testing test case writing done by the testers, and we give it to the client, and then client will do their testing. So what I wanted to say is, while taking the requirement only, your acceptance testing test case writing should be done. Okay, at the time of the requirement gathering only. Okay, now comes the software specification. I've already told, like when you are uh, creating the documents or creating the all the test plan, test strategy, that time your system testing should be done. Okay, so what is system testing now? Anybody know what is system testing? System testing is see, the first thing is unit testing, then integration testing. What is integration testing is? Integration testing is when you are testing in different modules and then you integrate those modules and then do the testing. After integration testing, there's system testing, when your application is all ready and you start um, start the testing full-fledged. Okay, that is called as system testing. System testing is the whole application, you test it all together, your modules all are ready, your everything is ready, then you do the system testing. So that time, you, while doing the software specification, your system testing, writing of the test case should be done. That's why it is said that a tester job should start from the very beginning. Okay, tester when you learn about this early testing, you will find out that why we do the early testing, because as soon as the testers come into picture, it will be easy for the developers even to it will help the developers also to find the to get the defects and to get the understanding. They also communicate with the developers, and testers also communicate with the developers so that they give their input also, correct? So we have a better understanding of the application. We should have a better understanding, even because we are included from the very first day, when there is a user requirement gathering is taking part, from that time we should involve the testers. So testers have a better understanding of the requirement also. They create their acceptance testing, they create their system testing test cases, they create their integration testing test cases, and they are ready for the, after coding, they are ready for the execution. Okay, once the coding is done, unit testing is done, they are ready for the execution of their test cases, which they have done it while um, while they are verifying it. Okay, so why this is validation? This is a dynamic. Now everything writing part is done. Now we have to start the testing part. Whatever test cases we have written, we are starting it. Okay. So everyone understood about the V model, like what all we wanted to do in this, that this is a verification part, this is the validation part, this is a static thing, and this is a dynamic thing. Okay. Dynamic means when the execution is started, we are doing the work and then we are finding the defects, like finding the whatever testing, started the testing, started the coding, started, like now it is like iteration thing. Okay, iteration thing can be happen. What is iteration? Anyone can tell what is? I'm talking about the iteration from like we spiral model. Like what is iteration? It is like a iterative development, sequential development. So what is iterative? What's this word meaning? Anyone? Iterative means, yeah, anyone telling? Like anyone wanted to tell what is iterative means? If you don't understand, please ask me, huh? Please. Iterative means when again and again it is coming to you, like, no? Uh, like the requirement is sometimes like what I've told you in the waterfall model, that once the requirement is done, then only we can go to the next step, next phase, correct? But in iterative, what we do is the requirement is changing, like sometimes like a agile model, correct? So agile model also, it's always iterative. Iterative is a phase which is coming, which suppose it is a this phase uh, is done, then there are some changes in the requirement, then again this phase will restart again, the requirement changes, again we do the designing, again we do the development, testing, deployment. Maintenance will not come in that phase, only this till deployment it is coming. Maintenance will come once we have delivered the project. Okay, so this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this 5 steps will be repeated again and again and again, because the requirement changes, new requirement comes. As I've told you, know, in the Microsoft, they have the new requirements, they change it, they again deploy it, again they find something different, again they change it, again they deploy it. So these steps repeat again and again, so that is called as iteration. There's one iteration, then second iterations, third iteration, and so on. So that is called as iterative model. So V model is also iterative model. Once the requirement is changing, again we write our test cases, again we start our testing. Okay, so that is an agile model also. You know, anybody know about the agile model? Anybody aware of agile? What is agile? What is Scrum? Yes or no? Devashi, you can tell about something about agile if possible. Because agile model is nowadays very much in use. Okay. So you have to little bit learn about what is agile model. Am I audible? Nobody is answering. Nobody is asking anything. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we
are.
can.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yes. Okay. So it will be good if it is like no interactive sessions. Otherwise, I will be thinking that you all are listening to me or not. Okay. Okay. So anybody know about what is agile?
I think the requirement gathering and the coding as well as the testing is done simultaneously in this model.
Correct, correct. So that is agile model. Like anybody know about what is Scrum? What is Scrum? What is
So,
Scrum Master? Yeah.
so basically, we say like continuous integration and continuous deployment. So, Scrum is
Hmm.
actually a 2 weeks or 3 weeks time in which
Hmm.
everyone, including the developer or tester, will do their part,
Hmm.
and they will have a target to be finished in the 2 weeks, and it will be checked by the scrum master every day, and it's
Hmm.
kind of like an aggressive mode of execution where every day we'll have a 10 to 15 minutes stand up meeting, and every individual's work will be checked,
Hmm.
monitored, and then
Correct.
every 2 or 3 weeks they will set a target, and like that it goes on, like that they call as sprint. So
Correct.
maybe yeah, like, there are a lot to say, but
Hmm.
basically we are actually more aggressive. We will set a time limit and we will try to achieve something in short span of time. So that's the idea, I think.
Yes. Yes. Very good. Very good. So these are that you have to learn like what is agile, because it's very important to learn agile. If even though you are a tester, you are a you wanted to learn testing and Java, and we will be learning Selenium also. But these process you must know that what is agile, what is Scrum, what is like a sprint, how long is the sprint, and of course you should learn about the uh, the tool, Jira tool. So that is also very important to learn about the Jira tool. Okay, so when you go for the project, you have to learn about the Jira tool also. Okay, and there you can store your test cases. You can upload your test cases with the help of X-rays and all those tools, which we will talk about it later. But these are very important to learn. Okay. Any doubts in this, Neha, Hitesh, Linu? Any doubt in this about the V
No.
model?
No.
I'm good.
Good. Okay. Because in the next class, I will be like asking you about a little bit about this, whatever we have learned in today's class. Okay. So I always, what is my way of teaching is like whatever we have done in the last class, I will ask, and I will see that whether you understood or not. Okay. So it will be like, it's like in uh,
Like a
like a
revision.
recap of the last class. So it's like that. So like, okay. Okay. So now we will learn about the testing, uh, software testing life cycle. So what is software testing life cycle? Anybody know like what is software testing life cycle? We have done with the software development life cycle. Now comes the software testing life cycle. So anyone has any idea? Yes, Hitesh?
Mm,
Neha, you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, there are just a sequence of processes that we need to do, so that the goals are met, which are being set by the client.
Correct, correct. So basically, software testing life cycle is a part of software development life cycle. So when comes the testing, then again, as we as we are learning about the testing. So when comes the testing part, then again this life cycle will be introduced, and that is also like gathering with analysis, like gathering information or requirement analysis, like that. So these are the phases of the software testing life cycle, in which we do the gathering part, analysis part, then we do the planning. What are the test planning phases? Then comes the test case development. What is test case development? Nothing but writing the test cases, correct? So we are writing the test cases. If we are doing it automation, with the help of automation, we have to write the scripts. We have to develop those test cases. Okay. Then comes the test environment setup. So for test environment setup, there is a different team which is appointed for the test environment. Okay, so always it is said that, you know, development, do their development in the development environment. Testing part is done in a different environment. Okay, so always remember that whenever you ask for a developer to ask for taking the build, it should always be in a testing environment. When you start your test cases, it should always be in a testing environment, and you can also demand that developer to give it in a testing environment. Okay, so in my project also, it sometimes they give you in the development environment, and when you are start testing, it will be not working. Why? Because the environment is different. Okay, so always ask them to, this environment setup is also done by mostly by the developers only. Okay, so once this is set up, then you do the execution part. Execution part is what? When we are started running your test cases. Okay, so that is the starting execution part, and then we give the test report. Okay, so that is a how many test cases you have done, how many defects you have find out while executing your test case. So those reports will be given to your client or your managers. Okay, so that is the software testing life cycle. Okay, any doubt in that? No? Okay. Okay. So what are the types of software testing? Like there are mainly, we do it in manual testing or automation testing. Manual testing, we write the test cases manually. You should know how to write the test case manually also. Why? Because everything you cannot test it automation. So I will give you an assignment also today for manual testing. Okay, so you have to know how to write the manual test cases. Okay, it will be easy for you to understand that how the test cases has been written. Okay, so manual testing is also important because everything you cannot do automatically. Okay, so types of software testing, there are mainly two types, manual and automation. So automation is using some tool, whatever tool, like we are learning Selenium tool with Java, but there are so many tools which are available in market that you can do it through automations. So basically automation is using some tool and then you are doing the testing. Okay, so that is the two types of testing, manual and automation. Okay, now these are all the differences, like what is manual testing and what is automation testing and how automation beats manual testing, that you can go through it. I will provide you this PPT. So this is all very simple to understand. Okay, now the software testing methods. Anyone know what is white box testing, black box testing, gray box testing? Anyone can tell? What is black box testing?
You cannot see the code in black box
Correct.
testing.
Correct. So mainly by black box testing is done by the testers. Okay. What is white box testing? Where you can see the
You can
code.
see the code.
Correct. Correct. So means that is done mostly by the developers. That is unit testing, or when you see the code and then you do the testing. Okay, so that is called as white box testing. Mainly it is done by the developers. And what is gray box testing?
Combination of two.
Correct. Correct. So combination of white box testing and black box testing, that is called as gray box testing. Okay. So very good. So this is black box testing. You can go through it, like, or you can read it and then understand it. It's very simple. Okay. It's also called as behavioral testing, because we only focus on the behavior. We are not focus on the internal implementation. We are just focus on how it is behaving and functional wise, whether it is working properly or not. We are not bothered about the coding part in black box testing. But in white box testing, it's also called glass box testing, as name suggests. It is when we do this type of testing, the internal coding is also taken care, and that's why it is called as white box testing. And gray box testing is the combination of both. Like you should have a partial knowledge of internal working also, and you should have a partial knowledge of the of application also. So both combiningly are called as gray box testing. Okay, just go through that. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the next class also. Okay. What is functional and non-functional testing? And this is also very important. We get confused with the functional and non-functional testing. So anyone can tell what is functional and what is non-functional testing? Hitesh, Lenu, Neha. So anyone can tell what is functional and what is non-functional testing? Yeah, so functional is basically what we do. Like we in the sense testers. Okay, but non-functional also done by the tester. But for that non-functional, we have a different type of different skills we need for the testing, like performance testing, scalable testing, volume testing. These things, non-functional things, cannot be done without tools. Okay, but functional testing can be done without the tools. Without tools means it can be done manually as well as automation. Okay, it can done manually, but non-functional testing cannot be done manually. Okay, so non-functional is always done after functional. Okay, why? Because once the functional testing is done properly, then only you can jump to the non-functional. Non-functional is what? Stress testing, load testing. So once this is all, once our application is running properly, then only you will test the performance of the application. Then only you will test the performance or load testing. What is load testing? Anyone can tell what is load testing? Means like, any guess idea what is load testing?
It means how the system will behave under any particular circumstance.
Correct. Correct. Any particular circumstances, how your application. Suppose you have using Facebook application. Okay. So when like too many people are logging into the Facebook application, how that application is working. Okay. So that is called as load testing. Like when too many people are jumping or logging into the same time, then how your application will be working or how your application will behave. So whether it will able to take that load or not. So that's why it cannot be done without the help of a tool, because it is manually, it is not possible, right? Manually it is not possible to uh, that thousands of people will simultaneously start the application. That is manually not possible. So that's why I said that non-functional testing cannot be done manual. They need some tool, like JMeter is the tool for performance testing, load testing. Okay, so that is why without tools it is not possible. But functional testing, which is unit testing, acceptance testing, smoke testing. Anybody know about what is smoke testing? Yes, smoke testing. Anybody know? Okay, that is your assignment, that you should know like what is smoke testing. Okay, regression testing. Anybody know about what is regression testing? Integration, I've told you. Any doubt in that? Integration testing, smoke testing. Okay, smoke testing, you don't know. Like, am I audible? Again, I'm asking. Nobody is answering yes or no. At least say yes or no. That like integration testing, I think you know, right? What is integration testing? What is integration testing? We have learned, right, in the previous thing. Yes. Hitesh, can you tell what is integration testing? These are very important things. Like you should know before even starting the a course. So that's why I'm asking you. Anybody? Linu, are you able
Yeah,
to answer?
so I'll
Yeah.
try. So integration
Yeah.
testing, like if you when you develop a software, there may be multiple components reside, and we'll do the unit testing on the program level. And then the system testing, we used to check the functionality, and integration testing we basically do when there is a communication between our program and other applications. So the word, so we'll just make sure that our program is interacting with other application properly, and during that interaction our functionality is being fulfilled. So I don't know how to explain, but
Yeah.
I know, but I am not able to put it in words. Yeah.
Okay, yes, you are partially right. Like integration testing is when we have two or more like modules in one project, and like suppose there is a a credit card. Okay, suppose there is a credit card. So credit card, in that there is a fees module in which we get some fees for accessing that card. Okay, there is some other modules like how you can do the shopping. So there are two different modules in one project. Okay, one application, there are two modules. Now what we have to do it, we have to combine those things and then check that whether it is working properly or not. So we have tested separately that whether it is working or not. Fees, we have tested that, yeah, if there is some late submission of the payment, then there will be fees they are charging. That is working fine. When they do shopping, properly that money is transferring or whatever is working. Now, if we combine those things simultaneously, whether it is working properly or not, that is called as integration testing. When we, yeah, you are saying something, Linu?
No, you're good.
Yeah. So when we are combining those two modules together and then try to find out that whether after combining also whether they are working properly or not, that is called as integration testing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what is regression testing? Any yeah, you can tell what is regression testing.
Chavi, 1 second. Can I interrupt? Actually, I have to pick my kid from the game. Actually, I got confused. I got confused between the EST and PST timing, so I need to drop off. And I'll follow up with the recording, and I will catch up. Is that okay? Shall I drop?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Chavi. Thank you, team. Bye.
Bye. Okay, we are also wrapping up after this. Like, anybody tell what is regression testing? Regression testing is when we, while doing the system testing, we are done, like suppose we are doing the system testing and we are done with the system testing and we have given the defects to the developers, like some defects you have find out and then you are given it for the developers to fix it. Okay, they have fixed it, they have given it to us, and then what we have to do? We have to do the retesting, like whether those defects are fixed or not. And then again, we do the regression testing that after fixing those defects, whether it is affecting the other areas or not. That is called as regression testing. Okay, clear, everyone? Neha, Hitesh, are you clear? Yeah. So that is a regression testing. Okay, so it is very important, like whether it is like a manual testing interview or automation testing interview, they always ask about like what is the difference between retesting and regression testing. It's like a favorite question of an interview. So very clear, read it. If you have any doubt, come to me that what is regression testing and retesting. I might ask you in the next class what is regression testing and what is retesting. Okay. So this is all about the functional testing and non-functional testing. Okay. Any doubt in this about the functional and non-functional? No? You can ask me in the next class also. It's not a problem. Okay. Then comes the unit, again, the testing levels. I think we have done with all those testing levels. Levels are like, whenever they ask you about the what is levels of testing, you can say that unit testing, integration, system acceptance. Okay. These are all the documents. Go through it, like what are test plans, test strategy. You know, these are all the documents which we create before even starting the project. Okay, so these are the documents which we have to create. Like what is test plan? Okay, what is the difference between test plan and test strategy? This is a very important interview question. Okay. Then comes the test scenario. What is test scenario? Okay, just go through it. If you have any doubt, ask me. Okay, what is test cases and what is traceability matrix? What is traceability matrix? This is also very important interview question. What is traceability matrix? So when we have a requirement gathering, that time only we create a traceability matrix, and all the requirements we we gathered, and when we are delivering the project, that time we check that whether we have done with all the requirements or not. So that is called as traceability matrix. So it contains a table which tests the requirements when the product when we when your product is going through the SDLC lifecycle. Okay, that time only we create a traceability matrix, and when we deliver the project, that time we check that whether we have touched each and every point or not. Okay, so that is a traceability matrix. Okay, which is very important. Okay, so this is defect management. We'll do it in our next class, but I just wanted to write the test cases for any website. Okay, like suppose you, whatever website you take, Facebook or Amazon, Flipkart, any website you take, and write around 20 test cases on those websites. Okay, like login. I want 10 positive test cases and 10 negative test. Okay, just write it down. Like you can search it from Google about the, there is no particular format for writing test cases. Test cases writing example. Okay, so this is like a test case ID, test case description, test steps, okay, test data, expected result, actual result, and pass or fail. Okay, so this is the way of writing a manual test cases. Okay, manually how you write it down. Okay, right now we are learning manual testing, so that's why I'm giving you a manual test case. So this is okay. This type of test case is okay. So you'll go with any of your website, whichever is okay for you, like Amazon or Flipkart or Google, any site you can go and write 20 test cases, 10 positive and 10 negative. Okay.
What does negative mean? Like negative test cases as in
Negative
which
test
fails?
cases, yeah, which
Okay.
no, which fails. Like negative test cases are like when you are, suppose you are logging with login ID and password. Okay, but if you have written the wrong password, it should not log in. Okay, so the expected result and actual result should match, then it is pass, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, negative is what? When you are not able to log in, that is a negative test case. If your password is wrong or if your login is wrong, that is a negative test case, right? It is a negative test case and you are not able to log in into the system. So that doesn't mean it will fail. It will, if the expected and actual is matching, that means your test case will be passed. It's just a log. It's a log part. Okay. The expected, if it is expected result is negative, then it is a negative test case. Clear, Neha?
No, not really. Expected, how will the expected result be negative?
It's like a negative in the sense, like it is not
like say you are
entering into
expected
that
to no, sorry, you are expected to put the password as password. So if you put the password as password 1, so that means it is not the expected result. So this becomes negative.
Yes, that is become negative.
Okay.
Yeah, but your expected is also like it should not enter into the system, and actually is also not entering into the system. That means the test case will pass. Correct? If the test case will not pass, then you will raise a defect. Okay, that we will learn in the next class. But your actual, what is your expected? If you write, if you have, suppose you have written that I am entering a wrong password. Here steps are there and data is like you are entering a wrong password. Then what is your expected result? Can you tell? Yeah. What is your expected result? It will be, it should not log in into the system, correct?
Yeah, it will not let you log in.
Yeah. And the actual should be what? Actual should be what? It should not log in into the system, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Correct. So expected and actual is same, but and what is the result?
Pass. Okay.
Pass. Correct?
Okay. So that means when expected and actual are same, then it's positive. But when expected is not the same as actual, then it is negative.
No.
Still not.
Then it is
Okay.
fail. Then it is fail.
Then it's fail. Okay.
Yeah. Then
Okay.
fail means what? Fail means it will go to the developer. Fail means it will go to the developer and developer will fix that, because what you are expected is not matching with your actual. Then it will fail your application. But what you have to do, this should always be same. Actually, for you, should be same. But tester should know that what is expected and what actual. Okay, tester should know that what is your expectation, right? Actually is when you are testing, that time you will write it. As expected means, yeah, you are right. Whatever you have expected, that is coming in actual and log pass or fail should be blank. When you are writing the test cases, actual and log, this pass fail is always blank. When you are executing, that time you will fill these two fields.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah,
when you are filling these two fields while execution, then actual should be whatever you have written in the expectation. And how it is negative, what you are asking, how it will be negative if you are not able to. What do you mean by negative test cases? When you are try to break the system. Okay, trying to break the system. Like suppose you have writing some wrong password, right? Suppose I'm Amazon could be.
Shavi, do you want me to share mine?
Yeah, sure.
Is that gonna help you?
Explain like, yeah, good, Devashi. You explain like what is negative test case.
Hold on, I can share my screen.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Can everyone see my screen? Shavi, do you want me to explain or you want to explain?
Yes. Explain, Devashi. It will be good. Like,
okay.
You can explain it.
Okay, I'll try. Okay, if you have a question, you can ask that. So I did it on Yahoo. Okay, so Yahoo login. It's a project name is Yahoo. Module is login. Okay, then you put whoever created by, creation date, review by, and review by. Okay, so first one is test scenario ID. Then it's test scenario description is verify the login functionality of the Yahoo email login page. So this is a test case ID. This is how it's gonna be always, like 001, 002, 003, 4, 5, 6, so on.
Yeah, you can give any number to any test case. Yeah.
Yeah,
ID
so it's just gonna go so on, like as many,
so on,
you know,
right.
you have. Right,
Correct.
that's all I want to say. So this is the test case description for this first one. Is enter a valid username and the password. Then the test step, you put the you enter the username, then you enter the password, and then you click on the login. Those are the steps you're gonna follow it. Then the precondition is gonna be you have to have a valid URL and test data for that particular test. Test data is the username. This is my username, and this is the password, which I'm entering it. Then the post condition, then user should see the home page of the email. So when you enter this username and password, you should see the home page of the email login. And if you see that, then it's successful login as expected. Then the test is gonna pass. Correct? Neha, did you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
but
So,
Devashi,
yes.
Yes, the next example, right. Go ahead, right.
Okay, that's the one is failed. right?
Okay.
Okay.
No, like why fail? I mean, because it is not as expected, that's why it is failing.
Correct. Because we are getting an error message saying invalid username or invalid password. We don't know what is invalid. So we're gonna get them. Okay.
No, but you are getting that error, right? Devashi, you are getting that error?
Right.
No, but if you are getting that error which you are expected, that means it's a status will be pass. It will not be fail. Are you getting my point? You are also confused right now. What is expected and what is like.
Because remember, I did this one later on because you gave everyone the assignment and I joined like in the second week. So
yeah.
And I sent you
You
this
have joined
one.
in the second week.
Right. And you said it looks okay.
Yeah, but maybe okay. Can you explain the second test, test case ID 002? Can you explain it from starting? Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
from
be
here.
listening. Yeah. Yes.
From here. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So if enter the same thing into the valid username, and then enter invalid password. So it was a valid username and invalid password.
Correct.
So we follow the same steps for that. Same precondition. And then the username, I put this one, and the password is incorrect.
Okay.
And we got the message error that invalid username or the password.
Correct.
And then expected result is showing the message is going to pop up with the error message saying, hold on, invalid username or invalid password.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
the
that's the
status
reason
should be
the
passed
test
then.
is going to fail.
Yes, I missed that. I'm so sorry, Devashi, but this should be passed because your expected and actual result is same. So this should be a pass. Maybe I have not checked that properly. I'm so sorry for that.
No, it's okay. It's good. I'm attending today and we can test this. Okay,
yeah, so this should be a pass. And this is a negative test case. Yeah,
right.
This is a negative
test case. Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah. And this is a negative test case, but this is a pass because you are
it's meeting the expected and actual.
Yes.
Okay, I got it. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Chavi and Devashi, it becomes a negative test case only because the real-time scenario should be, there should be a correct username and a correct password, but this one has a correct username and an incorrect password. So that's why it becomes negative, right?
Correct.
Okay,
because it is not as per the flow. Because it is, we are trying to break the flow, and and it should not it should give a proper error message. That it is invalid thing, correct? So proper error message should be there. We have to test that also, right? Error message to test. So the error message is the negative flow, and the developer should have handled those error message properly or not. That also we have to test. So those test cases are called negative test cases.
Negative test case.
We get the error messages. And whether they have properly properly handled those like what you said this as a exception. So these are all exceptions, like whether they have handled those exceptions properly or not, that also we have to test. So those exceptions are called as negative test cases. Okay.
Yes.
I hope I'm clear.
Yes, Chavi. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So you like how Devashi has written, you can also write similar test cases, Hitesh and Neha, and also Linu will also do that. So next class we will check that whether you have understood properly or not. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I will stop the sharing the screen, Chavi.
Yes, sure, Devashi. Okay, so that's all from today's class. So we will meet. Yeah, about the timings, I have to discuss about the timings. Like, is that timing okay? Timing and days are okay? with you, Neha, Hitesh. I will give
Chavi, a
yeah.
little bit sooner would be better, but I mean, if everybody's comfortable.
Okay. What about you, Hitesh? I mean, I will try to start sooner, but um,
For me, it is fine, but I think so Thursday and Friday. I might be on work, so I can't join the meeting.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Sunday and Tuesday I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sunday and Tuesday you can do it. Fine.
Yeah.
I think you will miss only one class, which is on
Yeah.
Thursday. No,
I can
Thursday,
join
right?
by my
Thursday.
work also,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't talk there because I work for pharmaceutical and
Yeah, I can
they are
understand. Yeah,
restricted.
you told that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
I
yes.
can just join it sometime if I get time and I can just see the session what's going on, but I can talk
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, fine, Hitesh. And about
Okay.
the timings, for you,
Timing
it's
will be
fine,
fine
right?
with me. Yeah, timing
Okay.
will be fine.
Actually, Neha, it's like little early for me. So if you can manage for this, like, is that okay?
Yeah, because otherwise, my day starts very early. So, but I have to
Okay.
stay awake till late night. So,
I
so
will
are you in
usually,
are you in India, Chabi? I don't know what
yes,
time it is there.
yes, I'm in India and actually it's 8:44 right now.
Oh,
And
okay.
9 o'clock, like we have my office starts. So
Okay.
yeah, early is good for me, but I have to like wake up at like early there. So yeah, I will wrap up the session like quickly. But I will start like 7 a.m. I start and 9 a.m. I thought I'll wrap up, but maybe I'll wrap up little early. 1.5 hours is I think okay, right? So
Yeah, that will be
we
fine.
will go for one more day for the same timings, and then you
Okay.
will decide. Is that
Sure,
okay?
sure. Yeah, yeah, no
Okay.
problem. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thanks.
Chavi.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye
Good
bye.
morning.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Good night for you all.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.